Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. We are here with another supporter stream. How's everybody doing today? I remembered to unmute everybody.
I'm doing well.
I'm doing okay today.
Doing all right. There we are. All right. So, of course, you can jump on the stream. This is the weekly stream that I do for the supporters. So you can jump on. We have added Subscribestar as well. So we now have Think Life Media, we have Patreon, and we have Subscribestar. Those are all there at the top. So if you want to help support the channel, any of those means. I also have added. I'm thinking about doing an update video tomorrow if I remember or get it done. I have a pile of things I'm doing. I've also added coin payments to the support page, so that will allow you to accept with crypto. It's unknown to me if that requires you to have an account over there. I just don't know yet. I'm new to the whole cryptocurrency thing. I need to go get me some crypto training, which I've had some offers to learn from some of you guys, and I will take those out as soon as I can. And let's see, what else did I add? I think I got, LibrePay is also set up now. So LibrePay is now the primary donation methodology because, I'm not messing with PayPal for anything there. All right, we'll check on over at the Discord server as well. And so we are on Discord at tlm.li/STLD. Next thing is I am going to be updating the website soon, so send me any feedback that you guys have for updating the website, anything else like that. And we will go ahead and do that. Keegan says, do I honor competitor coupons? Sure, why not? What are we selling? I don't even know what we're selling. Hey, I'm always putting stuff on sale. In light of, if you guys haven't been following like the cancel Netflix stuff, this isn't quite topic for this channel as much, but just the vile stuff they've been doing. I actually did a video about the crazy stuff Netflix has been doing. Like Cuties is the tamest of the things they've been doing lately. But God. In response to that, my book, I Am Not Amused, which is about media entertainment. It's the Christian response to media entertainment. That is 20% off on my website. And that is
I'm kind of like really disturbed by that because I've been a Netflix customer for about 15 years. Mm-hmm. As long as they've been sending CDs or DVDs through the mail.
Yeah.
And to start hearing something bad about them it really irritates me.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, this has been a long-running thing. They did another cartoon recently that made shows like Family Guy look like modern, like family entertainment.
Yeah, their taste in some of their stuff is not the greatest, and it doesn't. A lot of it doesn't even come from this country. They purchase it from other countries.
Yeah, the Cuties film is French. Of course, it got the let me put the Discord server because some of you guys are asking for it. That one got a award at the Sundance Film Festival, and then the guy at the Sundance Film Festival went to prison for that kind of stuff. So, all right. Yeah. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about Linux today. So we're going to talk about customizing your Linux desktop. Let's jump in and say hello to whoever's here. Moonbase Alpha Grace, greetings. GGL, DRM, how's it going there? Jolba, how's it going there? Hyrulean Gamer, greetings. Hate this. My Android's VPN is having trouble connecting to YouTube Advanced. That's interesting. Yeah, I wanted to play around with WireGuard the other day, but for whatever reason, I could not get MX Linux to install the client. I'll reach out to Run with a Dolphin and see if we can't get that fixed. So I went with OpenVPN instead. Using RiseUp VPN. Why do good Google products hate VPN? I don't know. I didn't think they really did usually, but I don't know. I don't use Google products over VPNs usually.
I tried to avoid it, but the way Firefox is going, there over on Telegram, and there's people left and right that got an issue or another issue or don't like Firefox or I mean, they're throwing too much bloatware in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, talk about shooting your only user base. I mean, because the people that intentionally seek out and install Firefox are doing it to get away from the nonsense. And all we're getting for the last 2 years in Firefox has been nonsense. And it's just like, stop. Just stop. You know?
They need to come up with another plan to make their core money, you know, and treat Firefox as something that brings in money, but not all their money.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand their plight of needing to actually pay the bills. That is actually important, but I don't know, for whatever purpose. Rillian, got any help there with Google and this VPN? No. Without looking at it directly, I really can't offer that much help on it. If it's working on other sites and not Google, then it's something with Google, I guess. Hello, Tech Haberdashi. Good evening, morning, day, night, all. Monitoring a live chat and here in Discord. Well, thank you. Keep an eye over there on Discord for us. I'd appreciate that. Jump on if you have the time, but if you don't, that's cool. Rob, I'm sacrificing my sleep to watch you. All right. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let's see.
That's a dedicated fan.
Absolutely. Making South Park look clean by comparison. Yeah, like I said Family Guy because now I mean, understand I'm a Christian and I don't care what type of things you guys watch, but to me, South Park has some redeeming quality and the satiricalness in the way it confronts the culture. Family Guy is just intentionally trying to burst every rule of decency.
Yeah,
and
the show's like American, Seth MacFarlane shows.
Yeah, and if you like it, that's fine with me. I don't have any problem with that. It's just me personally. That's my personal opinion, so I don't watch it. I'm not calling for the banning of it or anything, but Netflix did a cartoon recently. I think it's called Big Mouth. It is so vile. It makes. I mean that is so vile. I mean I would sign my name to a petition to cancel it. It's that it's a pornographic comic book and it's insane. But that's the type of stuff Netflix has been doing lately. Cutie is like not nearly as bad as some of those. I actually started to watch a little clip of that for review for my other channel, and I got 1 minute into it. I'm like, I'm done. It was insane.
It's getting harder and harder to be a classical libertarian.
Yeah, and there are a few other ones like that. And I'm not a classical libertarian anyway. I lean that way, but I do think that something should be legal. Anyway, we got off topic of Linux again, and I want to get back on topic. Let's refocus. Somebody slap me when I get off topic. All right, let's go ahead and get started on customized Linux. All right, so what I wanted to get on, and the idea here that we wanted to have is, should we or should we not? I shouldn't say should we. Do you have a preference or not a preference to customize your Linux desktop? This is a question that, for me, one of the things when I switched to Linux, I'm like, wow, I can actually customize my computer again, like those days when I first started using like Windows 95 and you had the ability to customize everything. I loved the ability to go back and do that. Now, in the modern design era, we have, light themes, dark themes, and color accents. What do you guys prefer? Just curious. Dan, we'll start with you. Do you prefer modern ways or old style theming, or don't care, or what?
Well, I kind of like some of the old style ways, because the new style ways are no longer like 3D. It's like someone took an icon and steamrolled it. Mm-hmm. They're just flat. There's no 3Dism to the icons. I'm not too picky about my desktops. I have dual monitors. So the first thing I got to do when I set up a new distro or, reload this one, is I need to go over to the display or monitor section or whatever and sort out my monitors so my mouse works with the way it should, not backwards. And set up a primary monitor and a secondary monitor, and then I go for the sound, because the sound never works out of the box. Mm-hmm. After that, because I use dual monitors, I try and find a dual monitor or an extra triple wide job monitor wallpaper. Mm-hmm. Okay. I kind of like the darker wallpapers, like nighttime with some like lakefront with a big city with all the lights on and the little buildings and stuff like that.
Did you see
that looks
beautiful?
Did you see like the 15 amazing pictures from Babylon Bee of the California nightscapes?
No,
they were all black pictures.
Orange.
Yeah.
Turned orange.
Well, to pull an extra wide wallpaper off with tool monitors, you need to install a tool called Nitrogen.
Okay. And what distros does that work on, or desktop environments? Is it universal?
It's pretty universal. They have something else they use in Ubuntu for that, and if I really hunt for it, I can find the name, but it does generally the same thing. But Nitrogen, you set it up so it boots up right with your system. And sometimes if Nitrogen don't come on for you and display your wallpaper, there's a timing setting that's in the startup setting, the startup app setting box. When in the Nitrogen box, there's like a timer thing. It's usually set to 0. Set it to 2 or 3, and then it'll pop your wallpaper after boot up. But I try to stay with the dark, but I'm not too fussy if one app is dark and another one's light, and the borders, as long as they look somewhat the same, who cares? I'm not hard to please when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah. I don't even care if the theming is out of place. Using a GDK desktop environment when a QT app.
The biggest thing with me is I like the darker wallpapers, other than the bright ones that turn on all the LEDs in your monitor and light up your whole room.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if I remember, I think XFCE, you can actually set each desktop have its own custom wallpaper. I remember being able to do that. I'm not sure other ones do that out of the box, although it is possible in many other ones.
I have seen other ones do it out of the box. It's a very particular thing. The other I look in my junk here. App sources.
Well, you're looking for that. We'll jump on over to Mark. Mark, do you like to customize things, or do you just want to install it and run with it?
A little bit of both. I like some quick customization. I don't do a ton. Sometimes I'll move my bottom bar, my taskbar, to the top. I can also do it on the bottom. I can do it on the left. Variety is the spice of life with me. And Debian and MX Linux, I'll run it on the left as it comes a lot of times, because if you put it on the bottom or top, the start button is kind of out of place. It's on the other end of the bar. It's on the opposite end because of the way MX themed it. But like I say, I use Plank, but currently I'm running Pop OS, so I'm using the activities and the normal panel. But as far as wallpapers, I like in theming, I like dark themes. They're just easier on the eyes if you're looking at your computer screen all day doing remote work. It's nice to have that dark theme, and then to be able to break away from the monitor and do some hardware related work is nice, to kind of take a break from just sitting all the time and staring at the screen. But hey, I mean, I like as far as the older, new, modern style icons and theming and stuff, I like a little bit of both. I do like the skeuomorphic of the older. There's something very special about that. It feels very custom, and it's hard to make. I feel like that would be harder to design. It's more complex, but the beauty of the material design, it is easy on the eyes. It works well. It blends well with most any type of desktop environment. And it's simpler and easier for the developers to, I would imagine, and it's easier to look at. It's easy on the eyes.
Cool.
But not easy on the eyes that it looks better. I actually think the skeuomorphic design looks better depending on what icon sets. I like Papyrus and the paper icon sets, and Phanta Mocha are okay, and the Adapta ones, I believe.
Yeah. Mirora says that KDE does support different wallpapers per display by default, so that's good. Let's see. So I personally, I like theming and customizing. Now I have some reasons for, reasons against, and some distros here. So I'm going to show you some of what I've done with some of my desktops in the past. These are actually previous YouTube videos that I have on my channel. You can search them out. This one here is actually a very heavily transparent. This is actually Linux Mint running Plasma. And so you can kind of see what we did as far as the theming is concerned. It's a lot of glassy transparencies. We have customized icons.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to zoom ahead. I'm zooming ahead a little bit too quick. You can see my Firefox up there is themed. That is just the most beautiful Firefoxing theme I've ever seen.
Tom, I want to go to heaven, but I don't want to go that fast.
You don't, huh? So anyway, yeah, that is very nice. This one here is actually my current web design. No, is this my current web? Oh no, it's an ad. Hold on, let me get around this ad. I don't want to be endorsing any political candidates one way or the other. Oh, it's giving me a 15-second ad I can't skip. No. Reboot the page. Reboot the page. Okay. I know what this one is. This video is actually one where I'm actually showing you how to do theming. It's giving me ads again. Now, for you guys that are going to say, well, run an ad blocker, there's reasons I don't all the time, okay? And this is actually, I am running it on my primary YouTube computer. I don't use ad blockers. I actually have a very extensive ad blocking network, but I've actually allowed some ads through. The reason is I want the YouTube creators that I watch to get ad revenue. Now on my primary ones, I will have that shut off until after the election because I don't want to see ads for either a political candidate or anything else. I just think that political ads are stupid. But that's why I'm not running an ad blocker over here, and no, I'm not going to turn one on globally. But what I'm doing on this video is I'm actually showing you how to run theming, so you can kind of get around there what I'm seeing. You can see how the theming looks. It's semi-transparent. It has a lot of just nice highlights. This theme is actually available for download on the website under the privacy resources section. So it's actually a very nice theme. And I think this one here highlights the newer idea. So what Mark was talking about, where the modern material design and what I said, you know, you pick your light theme, you pick your dark theme and your accent color. Well, Linux Mint added that recently into the latest version. So what I'm showing you right here on the screen is you can pick your light or your dark theme there, and then you can just kind of pick your accent color very simply in Linux Mint. And so you have that option now, but Cinnamon will also give you the ability to do the full-fledged customizations to the system as well. And so you get a lot of all of the different worlds all at the same time. And so that is, I personally, I'm not a huge fan of the highlighting, the modern design. I want to go in and do something. The problem with that, it does take extra time. But once you have it done, you usually don't change it much. So that's kind of my thoughts on customizing or not. Dan, anything to add specifically here?
Yeah, the other package I was talking about for handling your wallpapers is called Hydra Paper, and it comes in a flat pack as well.
Okay.
So if nitrogen isn't working out for you, try Hydra Paper. I think I had to use that with Ubuntu at one point.
Okay.
I got this whole folder full of flat packs, dev packages, and everything else. And I bet every single one of them's outdated by 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Or just paying for my ad blocker. Well, thank you. I appreciate that support. We do have a variety of ways to help support. And if you're not able to help support, yeah, turn off the ad blocker on the channels that you watch.
That will definitely actually.
Yeah. And that's
run the ads. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why, people say, well, run an ad blocker. That's why I don't. I actually block the most aggressive ones. I block the dangerous ones. I block the session replay. I block all that kind of stuff on my network. But I do allow certain ad networks through intentionally for that reason. So
if you're a frequent viewer and money is tight, yeah, absolutely. If you run ads, if you're, viewing frequently, that does add up. That's actually significant over a long period of time.
Yeah.
That could actually be more than like if you do a recurring donation of $2 or $3. Yeah.
Yeah, I think actually a recurring donation actually does pan out a little bit more, though. Yeah, it does. Okay. a dollar or two actually is way better over the aggregate. But if you can't do that, hey, that's
that's
good.
something.
So anyway, have you truly customized until you rice up a window manager? Yeah, I actually have done that on some things. So Mark, do you want to add anything else on basic customization here before I get to some of my pros and cons notes?
I was just gonna say, pizza loving nerd introduced me to one. I could never get it to work right on previous systems. It's called Fondue. It's a wallpaper manager.
Okay.
And there's also one called Variety that does pretty good. I'm not crazy about Variety. It's not my favorite, but it works, and it works well. So
yeah. I think spending the time to build out a system that you like and you really enjoy looking at, I think is a good thing. And then you're not always changing it all the time. So once I figure it out, just uninstall everything else. So that one, the Linux Mint with Plasma on it, I still have that system. It's what runs on my Arch computer when I'm not running Arch.
Could we not essentially do our own config files? And then just take actually, that environment wherever we go.
Yeah, that's kind of where I wanted to get to. So, what are the reasons for customizing your system? Well, I'll throw out my primary reason is to make your system your own. If you're going to be looking at a system all day long, I want it to look very nice and attractive. Now, I am running kind of a material type design on my Arch system, which mostly that one's just designed to stay out of my way for the most part. What are the other arguments people might have for customizing your system? Anything else anybody has to offer?
I know some people have a thing with icons. The Windows people absolutely love them plastered over every inch of their monitor. Linux people tend to be as minimal as possible.
Just some people. You should see my brother's desktop though. He's got like icons that go all the way over to like. I can't do that. Yeah.
I myself do the icon thing. I like to have the computer icon, the home folder icon, the trash can, and any drives that get mounted on my left monitor along the side, and that's it.
Yeah.
I also use because I'm using Linux Mint LMDE4. I use the desklets because I like a big clock in my left monitor corner down at the bottom because I can't see the one that's in the bar hardly. In the panel.
That's the beauty of Pop OS.
It helps when you're gaming on your main monitor. You can look over to your auxiliary monitor, and there's a clock, a big fat one sitting there, and you can see.
They're going, stop playing.
What time it is? Yes.
Yeah. So,
oh my God! I've been on this game for 3 hours.
Yeah. So if you are really wanting to customize your either the theming or just other things, mostly it's desktop environments rather than distros that are allowing you to do that. So Cinnamon, now the modern version of Cinnamon will have the either or, which really is just toggling different default Linux Mint themes, but that's effectively what they're doing. But it allows you to create and customize, modify. That's all done in CSS. So as long as you know CSS, grab the files, edit them, copy them. Plasma is the easiest to edit and change out of the box. XFCE is a bunch of config files in CSS, and Mate, I believe, is also easy to customize, although I've never actually done that one. I have to confess, I'm actually not a huge fan of Mate.
Tom, I would say another reason, I didn't mean to cut you off midstream.
Yeah, go
ahead. I just really wanted to, navigation, ease of navigation. When it's you or me, like the thing you did with I think you did it with your Linux Mint Cinnamon or your KDE Plasma, where you had the kind of like there's a program called Fences where you have a window and then you have all your folders inside one block on the screen on the desktop.
Yeah, that's Plasma.
For your stuff that you frequently access, I want to set something like that up, and I've got to figure out how.
Yeah, that's
navigation would be another.
Yeah, that's actually a folder widget on Plasma.
Yeah.
So if you're running Plasma, like Plasma has so many things you can do with the theming and customization.
Yeah, that is so nice.
Now, the arguments against customizing your Linux desktop, number one, it takes a lot of time. I mean, maybe not a ton, but sitting there fiddling with settings for an hour is sometimes annoying.
Yeah, it's the fact that you actually go through the control center and figure out what each and every little items does.
Or worse, dig through a CSS file with it's poorly documented and manually change stuff. Let's change this to a text shadow 0011.
I think you're going to have to get into a very savvy user that's going to go through that process.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't do it.
Here's the advantage of it. So on my web design company, where my colors are black and orange, my entire Linux Mint theme is exactly themed to my company colors. And so when I do a video for somebody to show them how to do something, they're seeing it in all of my theming and invoicing, everything that you're interacting with my company on. Everything looks the same. I have the orange highlights. It's nice and attractive looking. I have my logo as my menu screen. All that's highly customizable.
But you're a web designer. Correct. You know what to change and all that stuff to get the effect you want.
Now,
us other users are still stuck in learning to run Linux and all the stuff in the terminal.
I have a video about how to do that, though. So. But anyway, I don't do that on all my computers, but I do that for the ones that I'm using for client-based stuff. Second reason against it, you probably won't do it a lot anyway. And the modern material view, it's just too easy to say, okay, pick my favorite accent color, light or dark, and you're good. And then you just have to deal with is your light too light, your dark too dark, things like that. So as far as the modern type of approaches, now these are mostly distros, whereas the last one was mostly desktop environments, but the distros who have put this function into effect. Farron OS is an excellent distribution that puts this into play. So they'll actually go in. You can choose the light or the dark in the accent color. Zorin has the light, dark, or the automatically or manually shift between light and dark with the color accents. The new Linux Mint does that. And Budgie sort of has the option, although it's not quite as there. But Budgie's very much like GNOME. It's just customization. What's that?
Yeah.
Other than installing extensions. And ask any WordPress person. You don't want to mess with extensions.
Yeah.
So those are kind of my notes, what I had. Anybody have anything to add on that general topic on that?
That's getting deep, man. You're taking it apart and looking under the hood.
If you want a modern look and feel with material design, and you don't want to have to customize hardly anything at all, if anything, GNOME Pop OS is hard to beat. We're just getting something up and going to run.
Okay.
If you like GNOME.
Yeah, well, actually, though, Pop OS though has instructions on installing nearly any other desktop on it. So
cool.
You're not stuck with GNOME on Pop OS, and there's a lot of reasons you might want to run it.
Yeah, GNOME irritates me unless I can add some extensions to it.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. I actually have GNOME on the Arch computer as well. I'm just not a fan of it. I had Deepin, but I uninstalled that.
On the other hand, KDE's even worse for me because they have so much stuff you can tweak.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the most tweaky thing there is.
Yeah. It's one extreme to the other with KDE and GNOME. That's why I like something like XFCE.
Yeah. Well, I like Cinnamon, which gives us just enough easy theming options, but doesn't overwhelm you at the same time.
Yeah.
You can download new themes easily. Jeffrey says, beauty of Linux, if you don't like it, change it. Absolutely. Fondue. Isn't fondue a dessert, too?
The other underlying thing is if you are a gamer, there are distros that work fine with games and others that will not. And the biggest problem with that is screen tearing, trying to figure out how to get rid of that.
Yeah.
And some distros you cannot, it just does not go away.
Yeah, I find Arch, I don't see that at all. My Cinnamon builds, let's see. I know my laptop does have screen tearing, which doesn't bother me. I don't care about screen tearing. But I know my Linux laptop does have some screen tearing. I don't think this one really does here. Maybe it's just dedicated graphics. I don't know.
A third reason I'll add in there real quick for reasons against theming is sometimes you mismatch. There's a big controversy with GTK and Qt applications and GNOME developers saying that no, it's the application's fault that your theme does not match the theme does not match across all applications. And by theming some distros, it can actually make it look uglier when it looks fine and nice out of the box, and you really don't care that much about
Yeah,
theming.
that
The
is an
theming
argument
mismatch.
against. I agree with that. And it depends too on the distro, the desktop environment. But yeah, that's one
Yes,
of the things.
it does.
If you deviate, so I've seen this. I forget which distros I've seen it with, but if you deviate from
Never
what they
meant
give you
theming.
out of the box, it just becomes a giant ugly mess, and that's like, ugh,
Yeah.
you know.
You're right.
So,
Yep.
but update your kernel at 5.9 RC because it needed support for your webcam. Ooh.
We have the
All right.
best discussions.
Toss is on. Greetings, Toss. How are you doing, my friend? Any buddies in
What
the
up, Total
caddy?
Lewis?
He's looking for somebody to fit in the caddy
You got
trunk.
the caddy?
Yeah,
Got the
he's
caddy
here.
ready for me.
He's here. All right. Yeah.
I
Well,
haven't been
that's
on
actually
18.
wow. I actually expected that to take a lot longer, but I went through most of the material that I had, so we can talk about other fun stuff too, like the kitties.
The caddy.
Yeah, that's right. What else are you guys been up to? I guess if you're watching for customization of your Linux desktop, that will conclude what we have to say there. We'll just kind of shoot the breeze until we run out of things to talk about. Then we'll end the stream.
Well, if you
So,
want to make it easy to edit, cut it off there, and then the rest can, you know what I mean?
no,
Um,
I never really get the time to re-edit the Thursday streams, and even when I
yeah,
try, I'm like, it doesn't turn out right. So
it's
I'll
all
just
good.
keep it long and do that.
I'm trying to make it more. I'm trying to be cognitive of stuff, like when I get interrupted and stuff, not to screw up the flow of things. So it's a little easier on you
Yeah.
if you decide to edit.
Yeah, the Thursday ones though. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't really
I
put a
get
lot into
treated
it.
as the oddball. I'm using the Linux Mint Debian edition. The Debbie. Some people
Debbie.
don't know what it is.
Debbie.
Some
All
people
right.
think
It's
that they should
good.
come up with their own logo for it because
Yeah.
when I'm posting logos, I got to post the Mint and the Debian one in the Telegram, and it makes people scratch their heads.
What?
There used to be,
And they say it's a backup plan in case something between
yeah,
Ubuntu
Plan
and Mint
B.
goes bad. It's the best thing they've made. It's
Yeah,
lightweight
it
and
is.
It
everything
should be
works on
Plan
it.
A.
Yeah, it is actually quite amazing to get it to work. It's really a good distro.
It's very
Here's
nice.
the problem, though. I came in on this with the thin dividing line on hardware. Anything that's newer hardware than I got probably won't work very well with it because of the kernel's age. And
You
mine's just
can,
under that line to
yeah,
where
you
everything
can actually
works.
update the kernel in it though. It is possible. I forget how.
It's possible, but it's not advisable.
Yeah,
Because
I
I've been
have videos about
rocking.
it.
I've been like
I,
rocking this since the beginning of the year.
yeah, if you're not having problems with it, that's fine. So I did a fun build yesterday. I'll do a separate video on it sometime soon. But I actually created a wireless access point from a Raspberry Pi. So that was fun. And
Nice.
actually, I was able to solve something that nobody yet apparently had solved an issue, and that's to get the Raspberry Pi 4 to work on the A network.
Ah,
But
Wow.
it was mostly it's just the documentation had you using a wrong channel. So I updated that I posted a comment on that on the Raspberry Pi forums. So hopefully it'll get approved and people will see it and be able to use your Raspberry Pi 4s. Actually, it worked pretty well.
yeah,
It's
for
not,
short range, it
it's-
is a good
well, it's
spec.
actually the range is not significantly shorter than my commercial Cisco router.
Wow.
It is shorter. It's just not significantly shorter. The speed of it, where's my speeds at?
Yeah, wireless A is not bad. It was a good
well-
standard from what I
Well,
remember.
well, wireless A though it didn't get me significantly higher than G.
Right.
The router, it's the Cisco router itself, which is an old 10100 Linksys E1000. That actually was able to get me on a very high quality wireless card in the laptop, 37 down and 11.8 up. pfSense, because pfSense does not manage wireless well, I'm only able to get 21 down and 11 up. And on the Raspberry Pi, I was able to get 28 down and 12 up. So it's not as good as the Cisco router, slightly shorter range, not as good as far as the speed, but it is significantly better than you get on pfSense trying to run wireless.
Yeah, I kind of had some of them kind of experiences this week myself. I have this decent looking Dell laptop. No, it's an HP laptop. All nice looking brushed aluminum. It had the slowest Wi-Fi out of anything I've ever seen.
It's the card.
Well, what happened was a relative of mine bought a couple of years ago. This HP is like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
A relative of mine got a new Dell laptop about 2 years ago, and her daughter smashed it. So she gave it to me, and I parted it out because I had to buy too many pieces to make it work again. So I took the RAM and the hard drive and some other stuff out of it. And I got thinking the one day, this is starting to get irritating because I'm playing my game and I get stuck with my game, and then I got to watch a YouTube video how to get unstuck.
Mm-hmm. See, something better, yeah.
Yeah, I had to cheat.
The laptop that I did my testing on, it actually had a BGN wireless card, but the wireless card died, and so it was only like $1 more to replace it with the AC version of the wireless card. So I got the AC version of the wireless card that can support, I think it's like 500 megabit per second, which I don't have anything around here that gets close to that speed, but I figured, hey, for an extra buck. And so that's the laptop I'll use to test internet speeds on cross Wi-Fi, because the limitation is not going to be on the computer.
Well, this thing, I was getting all kinds of buffering with YouTube videos and stuff like this, driving me nuts. So,
fellas, I'm going to see myself out a little early. I probably need to call now and see what I can do. Later, guys.
We'll thanks. Have a good one.
Yep. Thanks. See you on the next one.
Peace. All right.
We'll see you.
So this laptop, while I had it open, I was going to put an SSD in it to hopefully speed it up and give it more life.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was in it, I found the wireless contraption that goes in it.
Yep.
One of these little things. I'm like, I got one of those out of the Dell I took apart. Mm-hmm. It's only 2 years old. So I switched them. And it's like, lo and behold, man, what a difference.
Yeah, the old card's probably a BG card, and the new card's probably BGN.
The router is only not even 6 feet away from me.
Yeah, that's why the BG, was it BG? I think it was BG. Those ones are very slow network cards. They really only transmitted. I mean, I couldn't tell you numbers off the top, but they did not transmit a lot of high speed. You get up to the N, and it transmits. It almost.
That's what I'm thinking. I did is I went from a G to an N, and it really kicked it in the butt. All right, we
got CFWW asks this question: M&Ms, plain or peanut?
M&Ms. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a nut, and sometimes I don't.
I'm with you. I really like the taste of the peanut M&Ms better, but there's just times I just want the plain M&Ms.
There's times when I want to actually take my teeth and peel the chocolate off the peanut, and just play with it for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before finishing it off.
Have you tried the coffee M&Ms?
No, I haven't bought any M&Ms in a very long time.
They're not particularly good.
Here's how I get my candy is at Halloween time, I live in a highly populated little subdivision.
Sorry, you won't get candy this year. You ain't getting candy this year, boy.
I'm waiting to see how that turns out.
Oh, it won't. We will not. I mean,
because then you'll buy $30 to $40 worth of candy to keep all the kids happy. They come in gangs, man, like they're coming to beat me up or something.
Yeah, it's buy them off with candy. You might just go get the candy this year. Just get it.
The kid walks up to the door, and the parent's sitting there with the flashlight, banging it in his fist.
Yeah. You give my kid it's tossed back there with his nephew, right? Give my kid something, you're going in the caddy. Thanks, I'm a fan of the 3 channels. I have to use Windows for work again, but I've been using Linux personally. There you go. That's the way to do it. LNDE needs Licorice. It'll run on a toaster. What? You guys will not believe the update that we had to Sillyville. We will see it tomorrow. I mean, there's one of these Sillyville stores you did last week. There's an update that is just... this cat is full of stuff. All right, Pi 4s as a router, not a bad idea. I don't know how effective it'd be as a router, but I'm using it as a wireless access bridge, wireless access point, which you can do it as both a subnet and as a Wi-Fi booster. And that one is actually running ISP config. That's going to be an internal server for my office. I will be doing another one. Now, I have a Pi-hole /VPN set up as well. And I'll be doing another project here soon. So I'll be doing videos on all this stuff eventually. Why is Brave hard to get on Linux Mint Debian Edition at Spin Viking? Oh, I'll let Spin Viking answer.
Getting Brave on Linux Mint Debian Edition. I had the same issue with a lot of other. You can get the Vivaldi one, and you'll have the repo to it too. So you enter the PPA, and you're all set to go with a deb package. But with Firefox, even the ESR and stuff like that didn't work very well. I had to get the Firefox binary all in one. So you just dump your Firefox in your home folder, extract it, and it's ready to run with no other things to do, unless you want to make a .desktop file to put it in the menu.
Yeah, that's becoming the way to do it.
You can either do that or try Flatpaks or app images with Debian.
Peanut red M&Ms with green plain. Okay.
Those are Christmas ones.
Yeah, that does sound good. I don't know what M&Ms. How dare you guys? That's dangerous too, because I actually have 2 containers of candy downstairs I've not opened. And I don't want to open it. I want to make more ice cream out of them. I had a coffee enema once. Does that count? Were you down at the Mexican Cancer Center down there? That's one of the treatments they use for the one of their vegan cancer treatments is a coffee enema. So no, I'm talking about I've had coffee M&Ms. I have not had a coffee enema.
John Smith says PPAs for Linux Mint. What do they mean by PPA?
PPA is I believe it's from an Ubuntu standard where you can basically add it and it just adds it to the repositories.
Well, that's what happened is I got a Vivaldi deb package and it automatically added a repository for it. So there's not specifically PPAs on Linux Mint Debian Edition, but you can add extra repos on Linux Mint Debian Edition. So they're just not called PPAs. And that's what I did then. I didn't want to give out false information because a lot of times I'm talking out of my rear end.
I know. I use the stable repos for LibreOffice on MX Linux, which it would have been easier just to install it from the Software Center, but hey, I'm old school, right? No results found in search for Software Manager for Synaptic Package Manager for Brave. All right, let's look into that.
I would think Brave would have a deb package.
Let's see if we can figure that one out. If I can type. I'm doing the one finger typing thing here. Brave browser site. Download Brave for Linux. Okay, Debian 9 Plus. So you're going to be installing curl. You're going to be curling to get your you're getting a deb file that they have created. Yeah, you're just downloading a deb file is what you're doing, and install it. So let me go ahead and give you the instructions for that. And that's directly from the Brave team. So I'm going to call that trustworthy. So I would not feel concerned about doing that there. Just make sure, of course, be careful adding anything.
People have this conception or misconception that Debian won't do modern stuff or anything like that. It will if you kick it.
Yeah.
You have to give it a good blunt kick, and you can get it to do just about anything you want. But the more kicks you give it for newer stuff makes it a little more unfavorable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Debian is something you don't have to worry about updating it every week because you're lucky if you get one a week.
Hey, you're lucky if you get one a month.
I got something weird, though. I got Vivaldi this week, update 3 times. Today, yesterday, and the day before. I got updates for 3 days. So I don't know if they had a bug and they tried to fix it and the fix didn't work, so they tried to refix it or what.
Yep. Thank you, Miriorna, for the brave link. We dropped it in. So, all right. Okay. Let's go ahead and wrap this guy up here. I'll be streaming on my other channel tonight. If you are at all into Christian content, if you're not, no hard feelings there. But if you are, you can go check me out over there. I will drop the link in here for just a second as soon as I grab it. But Dan, any parting words?
No, enjoy your Linux. Customizing is one thing we have that Windows lacks deeply in.
Okay.
I mean, Linux is as much as you want or as little as you want.
All right. Vivaldi was creating havoc on several video sites, including YouTube. Okay.
Then maybe that's what all the updates are about that I got, because when you have the repository, you get them right from Vivaldi.
Yeah. And I happen to have right here a kitty cat in a bag of temptations. So, Dan, you'll have to watch the YouTube stream for that because get all that running. But...
Now, if you have a snap package, it might take you several days or weeks to get your updates for that. Probably flat packs, too.
He's going for it. He's like, yeah, man.
Yeah, my video for that's delayed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's all the way in. I don't think you got one, did ya? Here you go. Yeah, he's like, I need thumbs. I need thumbs. That's it. I'm just going to give you 2.
Come on. Oh, he's going for the complete head in the bag thing.
Yeah. Yes. Huh. Was that good? Was that good? Was it? He's like, all right, I got my kitty treats. I'm out of here. He's such a fair weather friend. Such a fair weather friend. All right. Let's see. Well, to be on topic, I say customize all the way. Absolutely. Yeah, we finished our topic video in like 30 minutes. So good. Good evening, everybody. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and we will catch you guys tomorrow for the weekly news roundup, or you can jump on over my other stream tonight. We will catch you later.
It will be explosive.